Imagine the year is 2020. 2020. And you remember today, our TEDxYouth event on November 20th, 2011. What if you were inspired to pursue a dream that was very tough to achieve? What if you were inspired today to start a new club at your school, to start a new hobby, to start a new sport? Today, now, in 2020, we are in year 2020, you remember? In 2020, you feel great. You feel great about it because you were inspired to do something and you did it. How cool is that? Today I'm going to share some what-if stories from my life. I was born in Iran. And my family moved to France when I was young. I did not speak a word of French. I didn't understand a word of French. I started high school in France, and I remember one day, one of my teachers started yelling at me. She started yelling at me in front of all my classmates. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, exactly. At that moment, all I could understand was the universal sign language. She was showing me the door, asking me to leave. So I left. I walked back home crying, and I was hurt, I was embarrassed, I was very sad. My mom gave me two options. Option number one was, go back to school tomorrow and do your best. Okay. Option number two was, go back to your school tomorrow and do your best. Thanks, Mom. My father's option was a little bit better. I like my dad's option better. He said, forget about learning French. Go to an English-speaking high school. At that time, that was the American high school in our town. I was going to move to the US for college anyway, so there was really no need to learn French. I decided to listen to my mom, and I chose to go back to that French high school. What if I didn't do that? What if I had gone to that English-speaking high school? What if I had just stayed home? If I had done that, I would have never known what that teacher told me. Tu ne peux jamais apprendre le français, retourne à ton pays, ne perds pas mon temps, dors, sors. You can never learn French. Go back to your country, don't waste my time, leave my classroom. Another what-if story happened actually more recently. I fell in love with science when I was in 5th grade. I found my science book mesmerizing. I thought science was the coolest thing on the planet. Cooler than chocolate ice cream. I love chocolate ice cream. And cooler than lip gloss. I love lip gloss. I became good at it, and I started tutoring my classmates who were struggling in science. And guess what? I fell in love with teaching. I can claim that I had my first volunteer teaching job when I was only 10 years old. I decided that when I grow up, I'm going to do something to find a job that involved teaching and science. Well, oh, this is my 5th grade slide. In 2005, University of California in Irvine, or UCI, offered me a faculty position, a tenure-track professor position. So a tenure-track professor position from a research university is very prestigious, but there is no guarantee for employment until one becomes tenured. I was given 5 years to prove to the university that I can be a good scientist, a successful scientist, and an effective teacher. Most people, when they start the tenure process, they continue doing what they're good at, what they have experience with. I thought, wow, this is a great opportunity. I'm given this tenure track position, I should do something new. So I switched the focus of my research from studying drugs and their impact on humans to lifespan extension. I decided that in order for me, and for us, to do everything that we want to do in life, we need to live longer. How about 200 years? Are you with me? 200 years? Okay, 200 years. But then I said, wait a minute. Humans live too long. We live too long for lifespan studies. So I started looking for a model system for another animal. And so I chose an animal that is very similar to us. Very similar to us. And guess what that would be? The beautiful fruit fly. Yes, the beautiful fruit fly. So this insect is not only beautiful, as you can see, it doesn't live too long, so it's great for lifespan extension studies, and we share about 75% of our disease genes with fruit flies. How great is that? So I was all excited, and I started my journey of tenure in 2005. In 2008, I went through a mid-career evaluation. So when you go through the tenure process, after 2 or 3 years, a committee at the university evaluates you to make sure that you're doing a good job. So I went through my mid-career evaluation, and I was not worried at all. I wasn't worried that, anything would go wrong. By that time, I had 1 university teaching award, I had 1 mentorship award, I had scientific publications, I even developed a brand new undergraduate degree for UCI in pharmaceutical sciences. I imagined that my letter would read like, congratulations for everything you did. Good job, Dr. Jafari. This is what I was thinking. The letter shocked me. It shocked me. No congratulations and thank you in that letter. The committee that evaluated me gave me a very strong cautionary review. The committee members told me that maybe I should consider becoming a lecturer. In other words, forget about tenure, forget about science. I remember the day that I read this letter in my chairman's office. He was also worried because he thought that I would read this letter and quit working. He was surprised that the letter was not more positive. Apparently, other faculty members who had received such strong cautionary reviews have left, have looked for other jobs and left. I read the letter. I left it on his desk, and I told him, I'm busy, I need to go back to work. And as I was leaving his office, I said, what if I prove them wrong? The next 2 years, I worked very hard. I had some interesting discoveries. I managed to have more scientific papers. I even got a grant from National Institute of Health. And guess what? I even extended the lifespan of my fruit flies. Thank you. I didn't look for another job. I kept doing what I love the most: teaching and research. I just kept doing that. In July 2010, I was awarded tenure. so glad I didn't quit. What if I had quit? What if I had read that letter and just like many other people have said, strong cautionary view, look for another job. I am so glad I didn't do that, because now I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do since I was in 5th grade. A cool career in science that gives me an opportunity to teach. How great is that? Thank you. What if I had not gone back to that French high school? What if I had given up on learning French? What if I had listened to my colleagues who, when they found out I was going to do fruit fly research in the middle of nowhere, in the beginning of my tenure, they told me, don't do it. What if I had listened to them? What if I had not worked with fruit flies? What if I had read that letter of evaluation, my mid-career evaluation letter, and I had quit? Well, if I had done that, I would have never been a fruit fly scientist and a professor who also speaks French. Thank you.